Hello, welcome to Erratic Symposium, episode 7. Is it? Episode 7? No,
I don't
episode
remember.
6.
I don't remember. I have already lost count.
Yeah, I lost count. I think it's episode 6. It's episode 6. Yeah. Welcome to Erratic Symposium, episode 6. Oh god, we screwed up. Screw up in the beginning.
I know. We royally screwed up, my good friend.
Yeah,
So,
we
who
do
are
it.
you?
Just we
Okay.
just do it so much
You wanna do
that
it again?
we forgot the number count, episode count. Yeah.
Do you
Oh
want to do it again?
no. Anyway, you're asking who am I, right?
Yeah. Who are you, my good sir?
I'm Jordan.
What are you?
I'm Jordan. I'm the host. And
What?
you're the other host.
What? But when? But I'm Jordan. Let me check my ID.
No, you're Jordan.
No.
You're Kodo.
What happened? I have become you, and you have become me.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Wait, what?
No.
No. You mix it up.
What is happening? I'm scared. What reality am I in?
The Matrix reality.
What time is it?
It's currently 3:48 in the afternoon.
No, mine says 2:00. What is this?
Oh,
wait,
are
the
you?
fuck are we doing this? I have no idea what's happening.
No idea.
It is 3:48, my good sir. It is 3:48.
I'm just making fun.
So,
anyway.
Yes. Anyway.
I'm Kodo, and the other host is
Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan. Okay. Michael Jordan. Don't get that fucking wrong, motherfuckers.
Yeah, today we are talking about, I don't know, we have two completely separate things.
Oh, brother. Maybe we should start by talking about.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Okay, what do you wish to ask? What do you wish to inquire?
E or M? Pick two just the two alphabets for you, and you have to pick one.
E or M?
Yeah.
M.
M.
Let's
okay.
go for that.
Okay
what
then.
happens now?
Last time, I asked you that you are mainly into comedy and shonen manga.
I suppose you can say that.
And you ignored me, so I never get the answer. Never know whether I confirm this suspicion or not.
Because I didn't give a shit.
You mean you read all kinds of things?
Yes, I read most, if not all kinds of things, my good sir.
Really? Oh, can you recommend me some shoujo manga?
I've already forgotten what the shit shoujo is.
What?
I don't particularly care about genre. I just read.
Me too.
It's like me watching a movie, and I've been watching movies for years. I have never given a single crap about any actor ever. If you ask me who that actor is, even though I've seen him in like so many movies, I might as well look at you and go, I don't know. I don't care. I honestly don't care.
Okay.
If you ask me who is that guy in your favorite Jurassic Park movie, which is basically Jurassic Park 3, if only because of the fact I've seen it 100 times as a kid, I would say, I don't know, he's the guy who goes some stupid shit. I don't know. He's never mind. What is your?
Oh wow, okay, I'm different from you. I'm kind of same with you, but also have a different emphasis. I care more about I also don't care about the voice actors. I don't care about the actors. But I quite care about the stuff behind the work. You know, I look at the
production of it.
I look at the director. I look at the writers and things. Because, I particularly that it's important. If you know who's behind the stuff, you have more confidence. I have more confidence in the work. I can know what I can understand what I get out of this thing. If I know the person, the stuff behind it, and I don't care about the actors.
I care about the actors.
and the
To
voice
expand on
actors.
that point, I don't care about anything.
You don't care about anything behind
No, I
the
don't
scene.
care.
I
Other
just
than like, other than in certain examples.
I told you. Wait, hold on. I told you care about
Yes.
artists and the
No, for
Hodojins.
those, yes, that is true. But when it comes to like more mainstream media, I lose interest in a
Ah,
sense.
I see.
I guess it's because of the fact that I connect a lot more with like stuff like dojins and all that. Because I've come to the realization that what they draw isn't really controlled by much of anything. They have free reign on all that shit. And I suppose I find myself thinking that it's a lot more natural. It's a lot more pure than mainstream stuff. I guess. I don't know. That could just be me. Actually, it
I
is me.
kind of get what you say because since they are made by one person, and it's since they are made by one person, it's much more, let's say, creative. It's not very. It's not unlike a team effort like the movies. They are big team effort and
I mean, I
well,
guess that is
they're
true.
big team effort and less. Cannot say less creative, but
Yeah.
just but there's more less control because if there's something like or books, they are done by one. They are created by one person, written by one person. Or comics, they are
Yes.
mangas. They are drawn by one person, and just because six is one person each, yes, more freedom. They
Mm-hmm.
have more freedom with their things, of they
Yeah.
craft the story and things.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
And I also, and
And
that's why I like manga. I really like the manga medium
are you
because
really? Okay.
because a lot, all of them, they are all the stories they are either done by one person or two person, and it just
However,
and
that
the
however
idea
however you cannot forget there is always an editor somewhere that he is the one that he is the one that technically has more control, I guess, in terms of influencing what the author has in his mind.
depends.
So I am not.
I think
Yeah, it depends,
kind of
obviously.
depends how
However, there
controlling
is.
the
Yeah,
publisher and the editor is. Like in
yeah,
the
true,
books, like novels, I'm sure there are some publisher they are very controlling of the characters.
which is pretty sad in and of itself.
Well, the same thing in video game
Hmm.
industry, like
It's the same with
EA
every industry, my good friend.
and the publishers.
Yes,
But I think
publishers
there's
do
good
have more
and there's
control.
bad publishers. Oh,
True.
so you just don't care what's behind the scene.
I suppose in the grand scheme of things, I don't really care.
I do care a bit, but not the totally not the art, the
Mm,
actors. And do
okay.
you can you understand why people care about actors? I don't think I can connect with it. I feel like there's disconnect between myself and people who place so much emphasis on the actors.
In terms of that, what do you mean? What kind of? Tell me
You
what
know,
kind of affection
so
these people have for the actors. Can
if
you do
you
that?
look at people who follows movies and things or anime,
Mm-hmm.
they care they care about actors very much. I,
Huh.
in my experience, like as I'm a kid, I'm a kid, and up until my university years, people only
Mm-hmm.
care about people only talk about actors. I never seen someone talk about directors or writers or just artists or anything else. They just talk about actors. Oh, in the anime case, it's voice actors. And yeah,
It could just be because it.
the second
Mhm.
most mentioned things, the second most mentioned character is the quote unquote creator is studios. People only mention studios and the actors slash voice actors.
I'm not really surprised by that, if only because of the fact that when it comes to, let's say, movies,
Yeah.
the only thing that you can really identify in a movie that is, in a sense, real is the actors themselves. As actors, as real people, not as the people they are portraying, but as actors. They are the only things you can actually look at and go, oh, there's something tangible that I can actually meet in real life, which is why most people talk about the actors. And of course,
What up?
there's also the fact that in these movies, uh, the actors are the ones who give the movie the meat on the bones, basically. They are
Okay.
the ones that have to tell the story. Or maybe sometimes it's the background, but most of the times we focus on the actors. We focus on the people we can empathize with. We focus on the human being.
What
So of
about,
course,
hold on. What about voice actors?
voice actors again comes down to what we assume to be the only thing we can also we that this is my assumption. It could also be something, uh, another thing that we can possibly hear in real life. The idea that there is someone behind the screen. That is the thing we focus on. That's of course also the fact that these people are performing, and if the performance is good, then of course you're going to say something about it. And of course, if the performance of a voice actor is good, you're going to talk about the voice actor, because
I have
the voice
to
actor is the. Mhm.
go on first.
No, you go.
Okay.
I don't. Okay.
I do admit I cannot tell apart voices and actics. I do admit that. But I think but I always think that the other stuff behind the scenes, the directors, the writers, they are underappreciated by people in general.
I could assume that is true. I mean, the only time you ever hear about the writer or the director is usually on the poster or in the credits. After that, you quickly
Directors in the
forget.
poster,
They no,
writers
they
never in the credit.
like directed by this
Yeah,
or something like that.
yeah.
The pr- the problem is when you see an actor, you hear a voice actor. You never see a writer or a director. Technically, you
Yeah.
never see them in the stuff they make. You only see the people who are acting the stuff they make,
Damn.
and
Go do some
that
research.
yeah, that may be what's causing this uh, divide between people's appreciation of who or what is there. I guess who or what worked on it.
Then just go
Again,
do some research.
why are you
If
telling me I should be?
no,
For
I'm
fuck's
telling
sake.
that I'm just calling it out on like from people I don't understand. Like those who only cares about actors. Just do more research. Quest.
Oh, I
Not
thought you were
necessary with you.
literally I thought you were literally asking me
No,
to
no,
go
not
and do
you.
research on this, like an
No,
actual official, like funded research
no.
for why people give a
Not
crap
like
about
a
act.
funded research or a peer review or something like that. Just say just you can.
Mm.
Most of this information can be found on internet, or just if you stay on the credit. I do see the credit. I start to have the habit. I start
Who
to
the
try to
shit
develop the
watches the
habit.
credits? The credits are so boring. Are you serious?
On
You can
movies,
actually sit through them.
for a few minutes. Or in the movies, just a few minutes,
Just
and
a few minutes.
yeah, just filming it. They will show all the most important things, most important members. And in anime is just 90 seconds, and I can read some kanji.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, anime I usually see all of it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Look at you.
And
Hmm.
wait, what about
Yes.
manga? Do you care about the artist behind the manga?
For some manga, yes, I do.
Some.
The artist, the manga artist for Jitsu wa Watashi wa, I am following right now. He has a new work. It is pretty good. I don't remember the name because for some reason I cannot remember Japanese names, especially longer ones.
Hmm?
I think the name for this one was a bit long. I don't remember. But I've come to realize the guy's catalog of stuff that he's ever drawn is actually really good, which is why I've come to really follow him and stuff.
What, you mean his art style?
Not art style, the stuff he has made
Okay.
is very good. I don't know whether or not he is an author or just and an artist or just an artist, because that would mean someone else is writing the stories.
I'm
But
looking at his mouth page. All the manga he has drawn, he also done the story for them.
Okay. But whatever he has done, I'm under the impression that he is an amazing storyteller.
Okay.
Like, he is really good.
Cool.
Yes.
No. I'm looking at his latest manga.
Yes. Which is?
His Weekly Hachi.
Oh, yes. Weekly Shonen something.
It just started serializing last year.
Yes, it is really good. I really like it. Haven't checked up on it in a while though, so that's a bit sad. Maybe I should check up on it later.
Yeah. Yes, there's something you want to say? Just now.
Something I want to say?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I just interrupted you.
I don't remember.
Oh.
Cannot recall.
Great.
Because I was a bit into the talk about the artist and shit. Because I really like the guy.
Just saying. You say he is a very good writer. A very good writer. Yeah.
Yes. If his stuff has been written by him, he is a very amazing storyteller, and he knows he knows mood, my good sir, and he can do comedy extremely well. That I can vouch for. You okay?
Yes, I suddenly remember what I want to say.
What is about, it, my good sir? What amazing thing!
This is another topic. Yeah.
Yes.
The genre. You say you don't care about genres, is it?
Yes, I care a little.
I
don't even.
You don't care
about. Yes, you have told me the definition of shonen multiple times, and my brain has multiple times not given enough of a shit to remember it.
Have I told you? I don't remember.
Yes,
I have told you.
I feel definition like I have asked you this multiple times, and you said, "Oh, it's for like."
It's the demographic. It's not a genre.
It is the demographic, but I keep forgetting. I just kept going, fuck it, who cares? If only because of the fact that knowing a genre doesn't really, for me, knowing a genre does not really equate to knowing quality stuff. Let me look for the quality stuff myself. I don't need to go through categories and stuff. The thing with genre
is for people to find stuff more efficiently. That's why genre exists. Yes, if I wanna scare myself at night, I will look for horror stuff. That's why I look at horror. I look at things that are categorized as horror. And since I have preference for Yuri romance, so when I look at romance, I will just look at Yuri. That's why genre exists. I have seen people who I've seen people who doesn't care about genre like you, and I just like, what? Genre is very, very important. For me, it's very important.
Because for me, genre doesn't. How should I say? It doesn't cement quality. It doesn't mean quality.
But it does help you find stuff easier.
It helps me find stuff, but I don't care about genre, so it doesn't help me at all.
And so, okay, if you say
it limits me from actually finding newer stuff, or just stuff in general.
Go on first. You finish your stuff first. Don't wanna interrupt.
I mean, the only real tag that I have really used recently is in Manga Dex, which is basically like a free manga.
I know Manga Dex. I use it. Everybody uses it.
Yes, everybody. What happened to Manga Fox anyway?
Manga Fox
disappeared. Yeah.
No idea.
Shit. Yeah. The only tag I've actually used is award-winning, because in my head, award-winning. Awards. Yes, okay. Award-winning. I've only used that because that, at the very least, in a sense, guarantees some level of quality.
No, it doesn't.
Fuck off. I have all the award-winning stuff that I have at the very least read at the time is pretty good.
I don't care
It is
about
quality over
awards.
me.
I don't care about awards, but that's another story. But right now we are talking about genres. We will talk about award later.
No, when I say award-winning, I'm saying I use that term to look for stuff, not genre. Because for me, genre does not really guarantee that I will find something good. It does not guarantee quality. So I use something that at the very least sounds like it guarantees quality. I am under the assumption it is giving me this assurance of quality. Genre does not really give me that assurance. I want to get things quick.
I get what you say. Genre doesn't assure quality. So does that mean? So okay, for example, you don't read Yuri manga. So does that mean all the Yuri are shit? Is that what you're saying?
I am again. I'm
Since
sorry, I missed out.
okay, so you're saying you don't use
like
genre
Yes.
because they don't assure quality.
Yes.
So you don't read Yuri manga.
Yes.
Does that mean all Yuri manga are shit?
No.
Yeah.
What are you trying? Are you trying to strawman me? Because I'm under the impression that when I'm saying using genre, I'm saying I don't like using genre because it doesn't assure quality. Because okay, let's.
I just say you using genre help you to find stuff a lot easier.
Yeah, but I'm here saying it does not assure quality. I have used genre in the past. I have looked for like adventure, action, slice of life.
That's good.
I've come to realize
that's what genre.
But I've come to realize I'm just not interested in most of the stuff. I'd rather just find something that a lot of people have found to be very. I'd rather just use ratings instead, rather than genre.
What about you mix genre and ratings? Why don't you do that? Mixing genre and ratings.
That's a bit. That is an interesting case to make.
I've done it. I also done it before. Back then when I just look up genres, I just tap a genre and then I just look through all the stuff in the genre and most of them are shit.
The highest.
That time I haven't talked about using ratings.
Yes, that is true.
And also you can also keep a close ear on what happens like certain communities. No, communities on maybe what kind of stuff is popular in that particular genre. You can keep an eye on that.
I've never really kept an eye on any community. I was under the impression that there were no communities because I don't care about communities. I'm socially awkward even on the internet, my good sir.
Are you socially awkward in real life? You look fine. You look like you are more socially. You have more social life than me in real life.
I'm a interesting blend of both being I can be extroverted in a sense, but my introvertedness technically trumps my extrovertedness in most cases. That's why I have a fear of working. I really don't want to be in that awkward situation of work.
But you have to work. You have to work in the future.
That's why I might as well write, because writing is by myself and an editor somewhere, and maybe my fans in the future, if I ever have fans. That is. That's why I write.
So you're thinking to do web publish on the internet or I publish in the traditional publishing. I find publishers. Then
usually it's traditional publishing that's still going strong.
Which one? Which one are you choosing? Which one
Why
are
not
you?
both?
Oh.
Why not both? Why not hit both markets?
Okay.
Let's think like a marketer, motherfucker.
Yeah, I think we pretty much. I think we are done with the genre. No, wait. We have not done with the genre. When you say you don't care about genre, you are implying this doesn't just happen in manga. You also don't care about genres in video games.
Ooh, that's very interesting.
Is it?
The problem is manga is more or less a passive medium.
But
So it's more or less very passive. You read it, you don't do anything with it. However, in games, this stuff becomes much more complex because you're more active. So yes, this is a very interesting thing to think about. Actually,
what?
I don't care about genre in manga in any mass media except for video games. And even then, my care for genre in video games is very basic. If a lot of people like it, I want to play it too.
I put a lot
If
of
it looks cool, if it looks interesting, if it looks cool, I want to play it too. Genre becomes very secondary there, in a sense. Oh,
okay.
you have a
Kind
lot
of
of silence today.
complex. It's kind of complex. It's saying genre become very
Anyway,
secondary.
it is technically still pretty secondary in video games. However, I will never touch racing games. I am
Racing
not
game.
interested. I am not interested in that shit.
I also am not interested in racing games until recently.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm still playing that game.
huh.
Yeah, it's a strange case. But yeah, regardless of the medium, I care about the genre very much. I think it's very very important, and yes, you shouldn't. Anybody should not. Anybody should not ignore it. If you ignore it, it will help. It will hurt you in the long run. That's what I think. Unless
That
you're
I feel
very
like the
casual,
whole
I
that
guess.
feels.
Unless
I don't know. That sounds a
you
bit.
you're very casual. Like if you're very
Huh.
casual, maybe I can understand it.
I don't know.
Like a casual
From what you
consumer.
say there, that sounds a bit. That sounds a bit strong, isn't it? It will hurt you in the long run. You mean what the hell do you mean by that?
Okay.
You you
Uh,
mean you will lose out on some stuff?
like
Is that what you're saying?
it's very inefficient. I say it's very inefficient. If you don't look for,
Yes.
it's very inefficient. Do you
I
understand
mean,
that?
I am under. Yes,
Yeah.
I could.
If you maybe if you're just a casual reader and you
Mhm.
don't, well, just read a few things. Yeah, then you don't care about genre. I can understand that. Yeah, but if you are maybe like someone like me who follow a lot of things at once, who are interested
Mm.
in a lot of things, yeah, you better follow. You better keep an eye on the genres. They're very important.
I suppose. Yeah, I suppose that's true.
And
Hold on a
yeah,
sec.
genres exist. Genres and subgenres exist for categorization, and they cannot just like just disappears.
Ah,
And
okay.
oh yeah, about and the musics. I forgot about music. The genre is most
Oh no,
important in music.
no, I don't. I don't give 2 cents about genre in music.
I
I have
give
never cared at all.
what I care a lot. I care
If
a
it
lot.
sounds good, it's fine. If it sounds good, yeah, okay. I like this song.
Have you seen
But
a
what genre
chart?
is it? I don't.
Have you
What?
seen
Yeah,
the
there are charts,
chart
but I
for
have never cared
subgenres?
about
They are
charts.
insane.
I have never cared for charts.
I look at them. My eyes it just
Your eyes
my
explode. They come out of your eyeballs, eye sockets.
they
Is that what
just
you're trying to
they're
say?
very the music subgenres. Oh, they just very too complex. I don't know
Mm.
how can people tell apart. Yeah, but yeah, I do heard
Mm.
that music genres they tend to how should I say
But they tend to
intertwine.
intertwine. They
Not sure if
sound
that's
very similar. Is that what you are trying to continue pointing out?
not
Sound
sounds
very
similar. They can overlap the genres. The subgenres they can overlap.
huh.
Yeah,
Subgenres
and
overlapping. Hmm.
yeah, if you and again if you aren't a casual listener, yeah, you try to dig more into it. Yeah, you better know more about the genres. And if you know more about it, if you know more about the genres, yeah, you will know that which to you will develop like which subgenre you prefer, which one you don't, and you know how to avoid.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is where my argument of genre does not guarantee quality comes into play. Because even if I, how should I say it? I
Some there's
suppose
just
I'm under the
so much.
I suppose I'm under the false presumption that if I like a certain genre, it means everything in that genre must be good. When in truth, that is never the case.
It's
Like
not the
I've really
case. It's
tried.
not that case, but
Yeah.
it's not that case. But you will develop and you will always inevitably develop an interest. You know, like for
I
me,
don't
I
know,
don't
man.
care about. Okay, take the manga for example. You know, I don't care about shonen. So
Yes.
when I look at something text shonen, I will just ignore it, regardless of whether it's good.
See, I don't like that idea. I'd rather just read it because it. I wanted.
But
I
then,
focus on the idea of good, not the idea of I don't like this genre. I don't want to
but
close
then
myself off
again,
from stuff
the
other
way
than
the
I
way
don't
you
like.
see it, you also just ignore many other genres as well. Like you don't read shoujo, you don't read yuri,
I think I have read a few shoujo. I
or any
just
other
don't
things,
remember whether or not they're
horrors. You know,
horror.
you don't.
I have read horror. Have I? What? Oh yeah, I have never told you I have read horror.
Okay,
Yes, I have
Yuri's
read horror.
okay. Yuri is a guarantee. I don't know what
I
other
feel
genre
like
you
I
read, but
have.
you don't read Yuri.
I feel like I have at least stumbled upon one. Like I tried it out. It was okay, but I've never really looked for it like actively after that. I might as well stumble upon it one day.
You mean horror?
I thought you were talking about Yuri. I've read a few horror.
Uh,
I'm still pretty interested in
okay,
jumping back
so
into
you
horror.
are saying so when you say
Mm-hmm.
quality, you assume
Quality.
that you are
Quality.
into all kind of genres.
Let us go for that assumption.
You are into all kind of genres.
It's
So I can
yes.
assume that you have read everything in every genre.
We could go with that
Slice of
assumption.
life. I don't know. I can name all the available genre in manga and assume you have you are well
No,
informed
actually,
in all of them.
there technically is one exception, and that is yaoi. I am not interested in yaoi at all.
I told you are not interested in Yuri as well.
I can go into Yuri. I have no qualms with someone going, hey, this is a pretty good Yuri manga. I'll be like, I have the time. I might as well check it out. But yaoi, I am not interested.
So you assume that so is yaoi a bad genre?
It's not a bad genre. It's a genre. It's let's just say I don't really care for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Men with men, basically. I'm not saying a homophobic. No, like
but you
I don't
know
care if you're a lesbian or gay. I don't give a shit.
there might be plenty of quality things
There might
in
be
yaoi
plenty of
manga.
good yaoi.
Yeah,
There may be plenty of good yaoi. The problem is, this is the only exception to my rule. I just cannot fathom that idea.
that's kind of unfair.
That's very sad. Yeah, it's very unfair.
It's unfair, and
Pretty
I just,
sad.
it's real. I think it's fine with not this interest in a genre, but I still think
Mhm.
I think it's fine to have a disinterest in a genre, but I still think a genre is very important
It's a very
for
important part.
categorize and it depends on what you want to see and you use the genre to find it out.
I mean,
And even
when
though
you say when you
they don't
okay,
guarantee quality, like you say.
yeah, I mean, when you say it like that, it sounds as if you're trying to strawman me into saying that I don't want genres to exist. No,
Then
genres should
you
exist for
sound like
categorization.
because you sound like genre don't exist to me.
No, genres exist to me, but I don't focus on them. I rather focus on the notion of something that guarantees quality. Genres can exist because I'm not the only fucking human being here. And
Yeah, that's good.
so
Uh,
now what?
it just yeah, I do understand what you say, but there is I do hear people who just completely give no shit to genres or like saying implying that genre is very not important, which baffles me.
It technically, I will come to say that it's just because of how I look for stuff. It's been a long time since I have used genre as a crutch to find something.
I still use genre as a crutch.
That's your thing, man. You can keep using it. Keep using it. It's not that I'm gonna stop you or anything. I don't have the power to do that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yes, I don't. Well,
Yes, you
I
don't.
want, I want to say I'll just encourage you to use genres more. It just yeah,
Maybe,
fine,
yeah.
it's fine.
You know, you do make a good point about using genre and rating. It's pretty stupid of me now that I think about it. I have never thought about that. So stupid. Holy shit. I'm gonna go kill myself now.
Well,
Well,
anyway.
anyway.
Okay,
Anyway.
now we have finished talking about genres.
Yay.
Oh wait, hold
Let's
on,
continue
not yet,
on.
not yet.
Yes. Oh shit.
You
What
say
the
you don't,
fuck?
even though
Jesus
you don't care
Christ.
about genres, have you talked
Yes.
about that in the end? Which kind of genre you unconsciously gravitate toward? Do you have you talked about that?
Interesting. I don't think I have.
And
My answer. Yes. Sorry. You first.
I say you are into comedy and shonen because I look at your 3x3s and the mangas you have talked to me about, they all fall into either of those two categories. So I assume you mainly gravitate toward those two genres.
Ooh, technically that could be true. Although
So
I could also say that I technically gravitate to those, but when it comes to looking for new stuff, I don't really rely on genre. It would be a good idea for me to look for shonen and comedy stuff. However, I again, it's about quality again. I don't really care about looking for stuff with genre.
yeah,
Though
but
I
you
do gravitate towards comedy and shonen. If want to be, I guess it's because I'm most familiar with it. I guess. I mean, I think the first manga I've ever read, I think, is like a shonen or something like that. I don't really remember it though. I don't think it's One Piece. Hmm.
I say that well, I say yeah, I know by this point you know now that I like Yuri, but I won't say it's something that I gravitate toward too
Huh.
because when I look at my 3x3, they are just a
It's all Yuri.
mishmash. Huh? No. It's not all Yuri. When I look at my 3x3, it's a mishmash of different things. And I cannot say
Hmm.
what do I gravitate toward to.
And that just means you have an eclectic taste. You have a taste for everything.
I
You have a
haven't touched
finger
it
in
all
every
yet.
pie.
I'm genuinely interested in your genre, but I haven't touched it yet. I don't know where to start.
You don't know where to start.
Yeah.
My good sir, start by taking off the shirt, my friend. That's where you start.
What the heck?
It's a fucking yaoi joke. Come on. I can
No,
make jokes like that too, man. You piece of
I
shit.
don't, I don't get it. Yeah. And shoujo and josei is also there are also
What is
demographics that
what is
I
Jose again?
josei is
Yeah, what
it's
is
a
Jose?
equivalent of seinen.
Huh.
Yeah.
What the fuck's the difference then?
It's one is for men, one is for woman. Yeah.
Men. Yeah. Oh
Young
man.
man or
Oh.
young woman. Yeah, I also don't know where to start in shoujo and josei.
You
And
could ask around.
from what I see, shoujo is a lot of romance shit, romance stuff,
I guess.
a shit ton of
Hmm.
it. And yeah, I call us around, but
But,
no, for some reason I still haven't asked about it.
huh.
But I do read a shoujo manga a few days ago because someone
Okay.
mentioned it, so I just go read it.
And how was it?
It's alright.
Huh.
Yeah, but
Is
I
that all?
do.
Is
Sorry,
that all? Is that all you were gonna say? Oh, it's
the
fine.
manga is alright. Yeah, it's alright. I don't have anything to say. It's just it still
Mm-hmm.
ends up better than I expected. But
Oh wow.
I do lose interest as I keep reading it, and I just say,
Oh.
well, I don't care about it.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
but
interesting.
now thinking about it, there's one shoujo manga I do care about and interested
Which
in
is?
returning to it, and I heard it's ended years ago.
Oh
Ore
wow. Okay.
Monogatari. Have you heard about it?
I'm trying to remember what the shit it is. It sounds so. Synopsis of the story, please.
Well, there's a bit the guy is a big gorilla. He's just very large. He's like
Oh,
almost like a
that.
gorilla.
Okay, I know. I know.
Have
It
you read?
finished? Are you serious?
Yes, the manga
Holy
is already
shit.
finished
Oh wow. I was reading it. Huh.
years ago.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
I'm interested in
I
returning to the manga and to see how it ends.
Yeah, it's a pretty good manga. Was a
I
bit
watched the anime.
boring, I guess.
I watched the anime.
Oh yeah, there was an anime for it. I don't
I
know. In
didn't
my
read
head,
the manga.
I remember it to be a pretty fine, but in the grand scheme of things, a bit boring.
The manga? The anime?
Yeah,
The anime. The
the
manga.
manga.
Boring.
Yeah,
Well, I say it's just very sweet. Like
yeah. That no, yes,
there's no
that is the
conflict
appeal
in
of it.
the yeah, that's the appeal. There's no conflict in the romance. It's
Yeah.
just almost slice of life. A romance slice of life, I say.
Hmm.
It's not bad.
Still, it doesn't really lend itself to that much interesting development, I guess.
It depends. It
Yeah,
depends
it
on
depends, I
what
guess.
you're looking for. If you're looking for
Yeah,
like
it depends.
drama or character development, yeah. My love story is not the best one. It's not
Yeah,
even trying to
true.
do that.
Yeah, true. And what else do you wish to speak of? Because we are very silent right now.
Oh wait. Well, I think there's something I was gonna say, but I missed it. I don't remember.
No,
Well, anyway,
we cannot
let's
remember.
say award. Do you care about award?
I suppose I do,
Really?
in the grand scheme of things.
I used to care about
Yeah.
award, but I don't care about award
Until
now.
until you realize the Oscars are basically worthless.
No,
Eh.
it's
Oh,
I think it's award is worthless in anything,
huh.
not just in Oscars.
I
Because
suppose that is true. However, because how am I
because
gonna say this?
the award
I don't know. My
awards
brain.
are basically
I suddenly
popularity. Awards are basically popularity vote.
yes, awards are popularity votes in a sense.
That's why I don't care about
Oh
awards.
well.
I used to care about them very much.
Oh. Hmm.
Like I look at back then when I was like when Skyrim came out, I'm
Mhm.
like 11. Yeah, I'm not
Oh, okay.
interested in Skyrim, but because Skyrim got Game of the Year everywhere, I suddenly got interested in the game, and I bought it and I played it. Yeah, back then I really
I
care
don't know.
about
That sounds
awards.
like a. I don't know. That sounds like a very particular case, if only because of the fact that it had so many awards. If you were to give something one award, that award doesn't mean jack shit in the grand scheme of things.
What
However,
What do you
if
mean?
something gets 100, think about the impact of just having one award in a landscape where there can be so many awards. There's so many places that give awards now. It has,
Oh,
in a sense,
okay.
come to a point where it is nearly meaningless. Other than, I
I get
suppose,
it.
when it comes, when it comes to stuff like Best Game Award, we could assume at the very least that the game has been given some credence of quality. Someone has said, I assure you, there is quality in this game. So we could at the very least listen to those, I guess. But when it comes to stuff like, oh, best music, best visuals, that's a bit on the more, it doesn't really, how should I say it? The normal consumer would not really care too much on it. Unless they are, of course, interested in music or uh, graphic quality. Then I guess they start.
Well,
Then I guess they will start listening.
in my opinion, they do if they actually end up on the nominees. That means they are popular enough with the consumers and the critics.
True.
If they end up on
Have
nominees,
you seen Toho Project ever win an award for music?
like I say, awards are popularity vote,
Yes.
and yeah, Toho will never get an award unless maybe there's suddenly
I
there's an
think
even like a
yeah,
Dojin Game Award, something like that.
I suppose. I feel like I remember reading this somewhere in the Toho wiki that Toho Project was nominated for awards, multiple awards. It did not win any single one of them, and it has never come to that award show ever again, which is
Well,
pretty depressingly sad.
okay.
Oh well.
I don't care about awards anyway.
Yeah, we we don't care. I
But
care a bit, I
it's like a
suppose.
thing of the past to me.
Yeah,
Back then,
true.
I really care so much about it. Like if I kind of got mad if something didn't get into the nominees, I used to got mad.
Mhm.
It.
I
Yeah.
mean, I suppose if you were to introduce an award system to something that never had awards, I would at least be listening because it's new. If something got an award for if something got the first ever award for that category, I would be listening because that'd be pretty like monumental
What do you
for
mean?
that item.
What do you mean?
Let's give an example.
Yeah.
Here's something that will never get awards: fan fiction. Fan fiction will never get awards. I think no, is that shit? Or there really something a big event where you get awards for fan fiction?
Okay.
If for some reason we suddenly had an Oscar-like event for fan fiction, I would be listening because that's such a novel idea.
But
Fan fiction doesn't really, yeah.
after a few
After
times, it doesn't. It is
yes,
not very
that is
fresh
true.
anymore.
After a few times, the novelty of it all disappears.
Yeah.
However, that doesn't really mean I won't like. That is true. I suppose it doesn't really mean I won't listen to it. I mean, like listen to the first few awards, I guess. If only because of the fact that the first few awards are the more monumental ones, the more special ones. They were given at a time when these awards were not everywhere, in a sense.
I see.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hold
So
on.
it is pretty.
Have you
It is
the
pretty interesting. Yeah.
Have you watched
Uh,
the Games Award last year, the December?
no, I didn't even notice they were.
I did
Huh.
watch it.
I didn't
I did
check.
watch it
Yeah.
with people on Discord, but no one takes it seriously.
Oh wait, was it the one where Monster Hunter won an award? Or
No,
like that? Monster Hunter World.
it got
Really?
nominated. It got nominated.
And it didn't win.
No,
That's weird. There was an award that Monster Hunter World won for one of the award shows, I guess. And after that,
I'm talking
they
about the
usually-
games. I'm talking about the Games Award, the most mainstream one,
What the hell?
the one
And
that
when
that
did
held
Monster
in
Hunter
this
World
in
win?
December every year. You know which award show I'm referring to, right?
No.
No,
I have heard the name. I have not ever
it's
watched it.
It's just called the Games Award.
It's just called the Games Award. I have heard of the Games Award. I don't
Yeah, I'm
remember.
talking about that.
Hmm.
I watched that last year December with people on Discord,
Ooh.
and we just joke on it. We joke on it and watch it. None of us take it seriously.
What, the God of War win Best Game of the Year?
Yes.
Then it technically is that one. I think. Shit.
Well, I
It
don't.
was one of the
I
bigger
don't remember
Game
most.
Awards.
I don't remember any of the awards aside from Game of the Year.
Which is God of War.
Yeah.
I mean, does that make you want to buy God of War?
Well, if I'm younger, I'll definitely get it
Why not now?
because I don't care about awards.
I don't know. I would come to believe Game of the Year, at the very least, is still an award you can listen to. You
No,
can look at and go,
Skyrim
oh,
get Game of the Year.
what, was it bad?
Well,
It was
does
pretty
it
good.
mean anything? Like,
It means
well,
a lot of people. It means a lot of people are literally promising you
okay, God of War.
this game
Okay,
is good.
like take God of War. It gets Game of the Year. Does it make you wanna play it now?
Yeah,
Okay.
technically, if I had a PS4, because at the very least, a lot of people have now assured me this is a good game. It's not even game critics anymore. It's the public that's literally voting and saying, yes, God of War is good.
Well, how should I say?
Mm.
It's a Game of the Year is like a movie get an Oscar. Are you going to watch a movie because it gets an Oscar?
I suppose in the grand scheme of things, I would consider at least checking the movie out if I have the time. So I suppose yes. When it comes to
Okay.
when it comes to like the big awards, like the biggest award, or the best movie of the year, or some shit like that, I at the very least would listen to it or something like that.
Well, you just listen to it. You just listen
I
to it.
suppose I will. I
Well,
suppose if
I
I have the
mean,
time, yes.
I do watch the Games Award with friends because and we just watch it for fun.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
I just say that watch with Discord friends.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, and we just don't take it seriously, and yeah, and the awards just we don't care about it,
Oh.
and
Okay.
yeah, it won't
And
like personally. I think that
hmm,
if for my
yeah.
personal Game of the Year within that nominees, it has a few nominees, and within that few nominees, I will choose Monster Hunter World.
Yay.
Yeah, but the Game of the Year is God of War.
But then again, you haven't played God of War.
I did play God of War.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, but I still imagine a scenario where I never play God of War. I still won't care about it.
Mhm.
I still won't care about it if
Okay,
you get the Game of the Year.
It's just okay. That's
It's
interesting.
just
Then,
right now. I just don't care about the award now. Like God of War win this or it doesn't win it. That doesn't matter. If Monster Hunter World wins it or it doesn't win it, doesn't matter to me.
Interesting.
Again, yeah, they are popularity vote.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose. I suppose. I suppose you do
So
have your point.
okay, do you
So,
have anything to say?
I suppose the only thing I really have to say is just the stuff I've been doing this week, the creative stuff I've been doing.
Creative stuff?
Have, have you ever wanted, after reading, say, a novel, do you read novels, like light novels and shit?
No, I don't read novels.
What the shit? Do you read light novels?
No,
What the fuck?
I used to read light novels
What
a bit,
happened?
but I saw Chinese. And again, my problem with light novels, my problem with novels.
You
I
don't
can
fucking
dots
read.
off. Yeah, I don't read.
Ish. In that case, you wouldn't really understand my problem right now.
What's you sure? Are you sure?
I don't know. Who knows? Because now I'm putting my fan fiction on hiatus. My fan fiction on hiatus just for
Okay,
a while
but what?
because I've come to realize there is this fan fiction that I really like reading. It's a Toho fanfic. It's basically
Wait,
some yes.
I thought we were talking
Yes.
about novels and light novels.
No. I'm literally just saying, I said that just to assure myself whether or not you will get where I am coming from in this later topic,
Okay,
which is about fanfiction and stuff. But it's technically about anything written. I'm just using fanfiction as an example because
okay,
it is the one that I'm doing right now. I like this particular Toho fanfic because it is very unique. Because the main character is there for a reason that's a lot different than other main characters. He's not a main character from the Toho franchise. He's an OC, an original character made by the writer. However, he is very different from other OCs, which is why I was okay with him. And the story itself, it was dispensed in a very nice pace. Everything made sense. There was nothing big. The main character never overshadows, in a technical sense, never overshadows the characters from Toho Project. So I was okay with the story. However, I kept telling myself I could write this story better. So I started trying to rewrite the entire story. I am in the 3rd chapter. I am going into the 4th chapter today. Oh, woo is me.
Hold on. Pause.
Yes.
Let me ask you, have you done this before?
I have done this for a light novel once, but I did not go very far.
I never tried this before, but from what I heard of an author, which in the case Joseph Anderson, he said a lot of authors think that before, but any authors who have done it before, this is not an easy task.
I mean, in terms of his quality of writing, it is a pretty task. And for the light novel, the first light novel I did, because it wasn't translated too well, it at the very least gave me a lot of leeway for like a lot of different descriptions and stuff. I think what Joseph Anderson could be saying, based on what you're saying, is that it is difficult based on how you're supposed to rewrite everything. There's a lot of new detail to add if you want to add the detail, that is. And I'm adding quite a bit of detail to like the fanfic that I'm rewriting. Hello?
I'm listening.
Problem now comes down to whether or not I should even continue, because the original writer has absolutely no idea I'm doing this. He technically shouldn't, because I'm never gonna publish this. I'm never gonna publish this. I'm not interested in stealing away his, I guess, fans. And I'm gonna believe he wouldn't really care much for it anyway. It is still a pretty fun thing to do. That's all I can say.
Well, I don't know what I don't have anything to say about
You don't
this.
have anything to say because you literally don't read.
I know, but what I would say, well, you already say that you are not going to publish it anyway, and you are not sure whether the author cares about it, which what I thought as well. And I don't know, but I do wonder if you end up publishing it, what will happen? Will there be a copyright dispute?
Technically, there is no copyright for fanfiction, I guess. However, I would come to believe some people would be very mad at me if I did not get permission. Like, I would be vilified by the fanfiction community for being such an ass for not telling people, oh yeah, I'm rewriting your stuff, but I'm doing it in a way where I believe is better than yours. Wink. I would come to believe people will fucking kick the shit out of me if that were true. Well, metaphorically kick the shit out of me. They're not actually gonna come to me and beat me up. It's not that big a deal.
The next morning when you wake up, you heard the knocking on the door.
Who is it?
And it's an angry mob with pitchfork.
And the first thing I have to say is, really? For a fanfiction? Really? Chase me. And then I run. And they run after me. And I run through the city. They run with me through the city. And everyone thinks, oh, it must be a very interesting medieval parade. And no, it's me running away for my life. Because, we have to do it for that one fanfic.
Okay,
How is
so
it?
wait, hold on. So
Mhm.
when you say you have done it before, like once for light novel and now right now for a fan fiction, and do you find it like
Yes.
extremely difficult to do it, like writing it?
No, actually. If only because of the fact that as I read the story initially and through my second rereading, like rereads and stuff like that, like I reread. How should, is there a word for this? I I read it again basically. As I read
Wait,
it again and
which one are
again,
you reading? Are you reading
the
the original
the
version
fanfic,
or
the
your
fanfic, no, the
yeah
original.
original? Okay.
As I reread the original, my head continues making ideas of how you could expand on this,
Huh.
especially because this fanfic is actually quite old. It was literally around at the time when, yeah, when is it actually? I don't remember the date, but it was around the time when most of the Windows era characters still have not been introduced yet. I don't. I would come to believe the latest game. It was either Toho. Uh, what was it? 6, 7, 8. Toho 10, Mountain of Faith,
Hmm?
or Toho 11, Subterranean Animism. That might as well be one of the latest at the time of its publishing. So a lot of characters weren't there. So I was thinking to myself, if I were to rewrite this, it would be pretty cool if I add those characters in. Or in certain situations, if I were to rewrite this, I would write it more eloquently, is how I should say it. Write it, with more substance to it, more meaning to what I perceive it to have. And that's how I do things.
Okay.
Which is,
Well,
what's so sad? It's like this literally will generate no discussion at all because you do not sympathize with me on that point. Oh.
yeah, it's a very sad case. I really, I'm s- I'm
Why
sorry. I just because it's
would you
just
do this
because
to me?
I don't read, and even when
And
I
right.
read, when I have history of reading, it's
Yeah.
completely different from what you have read. I don't read fan fiction. I don't read fan fiction at all.
You technically read dojins, which I
I read
guess
light novel. I
technically
read light novels. I read uh light novels. I read novels. But fan fiction I never read before.
Huh. I always find it so strange though. Why would you? Hmm. Is it just because you've never been interested in what you have read?
Because I say maybe because I don't read ever when I was young. Like a lot of people who love books, from what I see, they've been reading since they are a kid. And I don't. I
True.
didn't do that. I play games since I was a kid. That's what I do. I just play games mostly. And
Interesting.
when
But
I
does
read
that?
books, it's mostly comics.
But by the way, by how you say it, it sounds as if you cannot start anymore, which I don't believe is the case. I will come to
What do you
believe
mean?
you still have
What
the
do you mean by start anymore?
you can't start getting into reading. I
Oh
am under the impression you still
no
can.
no no no! I've tried a lot of times, and every time it just ended in complete failure.
I am
I
under
say.
the I am under the impression that maybe you haven't found something that works better in written form than it is in any other form.
I agree. I think I just haven't found books that fit me, that suit me.
Huh.
But
Interesting.
wait, hold on. They,
Yeah.
I think I might have a clue because there are actually two books that I really like, but they aren't
Okay.
actually novels. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
to call them. They just
Are they children's
no, they
picture
are
books
not
type of stuff?
they are not children's book. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
but they're from the same writers and it's connected.
Ooh,
The
okay.
both it's
Okay, that's pretty cool.
the Max Brooks Zombie Survival Guide and
Oh.
his follow up World War Z. They are both. I just really like them. I really like both books. I can reread it again.
And why would that be the case? Do you
I
have
don't
any
know.
ideas?
I have no idea. It just for somehow when I read them, I can understand all the details. I can understand what is happening It's just very
Shit.
fun to read. And if I read other
Shit. By the
books,
end of the day, it sounds as if you were just reading books that were just boring. Like
I never. Well,
really.
I cannot say
Tell me some about
boring. It's just the first time. It just I never felt this before. Like every time I read books, I always doze off. My mind will just fly. It just fly off to somewhere else,
I think
and I
that comes
cannot
down to the
imagine the
okay.
details. Imagine the
I
details
think
of
not.
it, and I have to read multiple times.
Mm,
But for World War Z
okay.
and Zombie Survival Guide, I don't have that problem. I can just read it. I really find and I very enjoy the story in it.
That's very interesting.
But
Problem is, I've never read those books, so I have no idea what kind of writing style you agree with.
and
However,
well,
one
also
of the
I
things,
wait, I
okay,
have to say, and
yes,
they aren't actually novels. That's
hmm
one thing interesting about that. Like the Zombie Survival Guide is literally a guidebook about how to deal with zombies, and he just
so
written in a very detailed manner.
so from what I can gather, you at the very least have an interest in reading those kinds of books, or the very least books written in
But it's a
that way
fiction. It's
for a certain
complete.
yes, for a fictional subject. It sounds very interesting,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it's written as because it writes as a basically a guide on how to deal with zombies, writing
Yes.
details. I
No,
assumes
let's look
the
at it.
zombie is
No,
a common
okay.
thing in the world, and how you write
No,
it.
let's look at it let's look at it in the most basic form. It is a fiction
Yeah,
in the form of a guidebook.
yeah.
Is that what you're looking for? Or is that
I'm
at the
not
very least
sure.
one kind of book you're looking for? Like the idea of discovering something, which by the sounds of it is already discovered, and yet is of course fiction. You know what I mean, right?
No.
Discovering something that seems to already be discovered. It's like reading a fucking uh it's like reading a book about
Uh,
animals and shit.
oh,
Mm.
okay, okay. I get it
However,
now.
this one is
But
fiction. The idea of discovery. Is that what you're looking for?
no, that's the
Mm.
first time I read a book
Huh.
like that, the
Huh.
Zombie Survival Guide.
Mm. What
And the
about
World
the
War
ones
Z
in
is also another entirely different book. It's not a novel in traditional sense. It's a interview after interview of survivors after the war. It just
Ooh,
it's just an interview of the survivors. The different survivors is around the world, and what
that
they
sounds
narrate
very
will let you imagine how the war has gone on and how it ends, how it starts, how it ends, and the aftermath, and just
that
really
sounds very interesting. Now that I think about it, it really does sound like you like these kind. Again, I'm guessing. I'm guessing. Don't take me as a guy who thinks I'm correct. I could assume you like stories. How should I say it? Think of it like Bloodborne. Bloodborne story is very vague. You
and
fill in the details. In this one, the technical narrative is vague, but you fill in the narrative with the stories of the people who are being interviewed, the and maybe through the guidebook itself, which sounds very interesting. That is a very interesting
hold
taste
on,
in.
hold on
Mhm.
first. So you are saying I like this kind of story that is fake and it's more for up to the readers who interpret
Well,
themselves.
well, maybe let me try and rephrase that actually, because I don't know. My brain is really trying to come up with an explanation for what your taste in book is. Hmm.
Keep
You
in
can
mind,
assume.
I've never read any other books that's like those two again.
No, the
I've never.
problem is I'm trying to focus on what could be the one thing that interests you in these two books.
Well,
Would it?
I can tell you
Mhm.
that I can pay a lot of attention in reading those two books. Unlike
The
any
question
other
is
books I
why.
have read.
The question is why. Is it because it sounds like a real book? It sounds like these are real interviews. It sounds like these are real guidebooks. However, because they're fictional, they capture your imagination. on the idea of the fiction and reality, something like that. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
Okay, hold on. I think I have a theory. Maybe I
Shoot
have
it.
I never cut out for reading books
You've never
written
cut
in
out
a
from reading.
tradition, reading something that is written in a traditional narrative sense, like a first person
Okay.
or third person, or any story, any book story out there. But
Okay.
these two books, they aren't written like that. One is written like a guidebook, which I don't need to treat it like a story, and the other is just an interview. Like they treat it like as if it's like I'm reading an interview, and that's why I'm
So
fine with
two,
it. That's why I
which is
can read
very
it fine.
interesting.
That's
It's literally two fictional books disguised as real stuff.
and that's why I can read it. That's my theory.
So you like nonfiction, or the very
But
ideas based on nonfiction?
a non-fiction written as a traditional book, it doesn't
I
cut out
guess.
for me as well. It
Hmm.
also doesn't cut out for me.
If I give you a history book, would you read it?
What kind of history book?
A fat motherfucker, huge history book, just about one topic,
Like facts
literally written in chronological order
or what
about
happens?
a certain event. Yes, like
Uh,
political, military,
well,
social,
I do
all
have
those sides.
interest. I do have interest in history. I won't deny that. I don't
But
think
then,
I will. I don't think I will. It
okay.
largely depends. Like I have more. I do notice I'm more interested in history than an average person. But sometimes
Hey, that's
I'm quite
fucking great.
interested in researching it. Sometimes I don't.
Huh. Okay. In any case, because of the fact that you have very little experience in reading, there's I have very little to say in terms of how you read, in terms of what books will interest you.
And
Sounds more like you
but
have to really just look around, even though you, by the sounds of it, don't really want to,
it's not that I don't want to. It's just that I'm occupied by manga. I just continue to keep reading manga and never
I
stop.
suppose. Okay.
Yeah, and then I actually have a few novels. I bought a few novels and I haven't touched them yet.
Oh,
And
okay.
I don't have much expectation about these novels I bought.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
I don't think I will end up enjoying them, even if they are classics or they are highly recommended or whatever they are.
Uh, I guess that's true. Hmm.
Okay, so you don't read novels.
No, I do read novels.
Ooh, what have you read?
Let me check this one out. Ooh, this is a political book. It is called The End of UMNO,
The end
Essays on Malaysia's form UMNO. I think
UMNO.
it's pronounced UMNO. I don't know. The UMNO. Essays on Malaysia's former dominant party.
That's not a novel.
Yes, that's a political book. It's technically the book closest to me right now. It's
Okay.
literally on my desk.
Oh, so you read many kind of books, not just novels.
I have tried going into political stuff, I guess.
You're going to be an SJW.
Yeah, yeah, let's go. SJW trash unite. Oh, brother.
Oh yeah. Speaking of
I don't
SJWs.
know.
Speaking of SJWs,
I
I have
don't
a
know.
questions. I have a question.
Ah, shit. Is it?
It just
Yeah.
I just kind of don't get it. So
Yeah.
you basically know the SJWs and
Mhm.
well, okay, it's in the mainstream people are trying to put in more SJWs and you are aware of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yesterday I listened to a video. It says that it talks about Dice putting in the filling women to their game, the Battlefield 5.
Yes.
And then
Okay.
I'm thinking that, well, I don't really understand with all these SJW actions because since the dawn of humanity, since the rise of since the civilization or since the creation of art. Like women has already exists in all kind of art. So what is so special about putting women into your game?
I suppose in the grand scheme of things, there's always been a stereotype that games are just for men. Men are the stars
There
of
are
the game.
already plenty, even within video games, there are already plenty
Yes,
of
there are
women.
plenty of women. This is
So
the
what?
flaw in the. This is the flaw in certain SJW arguments. They don't look at the bigger picture. They don't look at the history of it all. They look at a very biased history, which is a bit sad in and of itself.
Oh, okay.
Because I am under the impression that honestly, everything is technically fine right now.
There's
There
nothing wrong.
really is there really is no need to add more elements to SJW ideas.
There isn't.
Because
It's
because
just
in
very
my
fine.
head, yeah, because in my head, you see, SJWs usually try to go for think of feminists. Sorry, let's go for feminists.
Okay.
Feminists usually think of stuff in terms of equality. We want equality between both men and women. I don't really believe that to ever happen, though. However, I do believe in equity, fairness between both men and women. That's what I want to believe in. So honestly, to add women and men into like games where it's usually either one gender, it doesn't really do much for me. I'm technically just gonna shrug and go, eh. At the very least, it means, oh, there's more women being represented. That doesn't really do much in the grand scheme of things. Still, I suppose we could assume certain feminists do have an idea in terms of, I guess, how women are portrayed in games, which is a bit hard for me to argue, if only because of the fact that there are ways for men to be portrayed in games. So it's basically like a double-edged sword when you argue about representation of gender, maybe of race, of this or that. Because everyone has gone through every extreme. Everyone has every gender, every race, every kind of person has been through the extremes. So a part of me wants to say there is equity, there is a bit of fairness in terms of representation. Every gender has been the asshole, every gender has been the good guy, every gender has been sexualized to the nth degree. Every gender has had a role in something. I'm out of ideas to say.
It's kind of I kind of don't confusing.
You don't really. It's a
Yeah, I
bit
don't really.
confusing. Yeah, I suppose.
I
I mean,
but from what
I literally just made it up based on what I believe at the time. I literally just made it up. So I would come to believe there are some problems with how I say certain things, like some certain structural, grammatical problems. I guess I don't know.
okay, for me to summarize it, basically the gender, like there's nothing wrong with either of the genders. It's just
Yes.
both sides they have their own good and bad things, and it's always been so since humans have come to Earth. Like since humans have evolved from the monkeys.
Okay.
That's the gist I get from what you say.
I mean, I suppose that could be the basis of what I'm trying to say. The idea that that there is some level of equity right
There's
now.
always pretty like things all times, and even right now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we should stop
Do you
here.
think game? Yeah, I suppose.
Wait, what do you want to ask?
It is no, nothing. No, nothing. I'm kind of believe we wouldn't really get much of a conversation with it anyway.
It's 1 hour and 19 minutes. We should stop here.
15 minutes. Yeah, let's stop here.
Yeah,
Today's episode wasn't as good as I would have liked it, if only because of the fact that I was expecting it to be on a fucking Saturday. It's a Friday, so
really, I
in any case,
actually quite like it.
Are you serious? We had a. Oh wow! What the fuck do you want from this podcast? In any case, you have not stopped recording yet.
Haven't.
Okay. So, in any case, this is the end of Erratic Symposium, episode 3, with your hosts, Jordan
3?
and. I thought I said episode 6, did I?
You say
6 or
3.
3? Are you
You say
serious?
episode 3, yeah. It's,
No, in my head, I had the number 6 when I said it.
it's episode 6.
It is episode 6. You said episode 6, motherfucker. Episode 6. This
Yes.
is Erratic Symposium, episode 6. Ending now. Thank you for listening. And, well, see you next week, I guess.